Every single dollar you have is on a mission. It's either out there working for you or it's working against you. So today we're going to break down the two fundamental forces that decide which way that scale tips: assets and liabilities. Getting this right, it's the absolute bedrock of taking control of your financial future.
And honestly, that's the perfect way to think about it. It's this powerful analogy, right? One side is building you up. That's your growth, your income. The other side? Well, that represents all the obligations that are pulling your resources away. The real secret to financial harmony isn't about completely getting rid of one side, but it's about learning how to keep them in the right balance.
So let's dive right in and get crystal clear on what these two forces actually are. We're going to define them simply because just understanding this one key difference is the first major step forward.
It really all boils down to this super simple idea. Assets are designed to put money into your pocket. They do this either through ongoing income or by just growing in value over time. Liabilities? They do the exact opposite. They consistently take money out of your pocket. The whole game of personal finance is just learning how to manage the flow of cash between these two sides.
Okay, first up, let's talk about the good stuff, the positive side of the equation: assets. These are the things that put money in your pocket.
So the big idea here is that an asset is an active part of your financial life. It doesn't just sit there looking pretty. It's either generating cash flow for you directly, kind of like rent coming in from a property, or it's appreciating, which just means its value is going up over time. So what are we really talking about here? Well, think about things like dividend-paying stocks that literally send you cash just for owning them, or a rental property that brings in a steady income stream every month. It could even be royalties from a book you wrote or a patent. You see the common thread? They are all actively making money for you.
All right, let's flip the coin and talk about the other side of the financial equation: liabilities. This is the money out part of our story.
A liability is pretty much the polar opposite of an asset. It's any obligation, any commitment that consistently takes money out of your pocket. It's a recurring expense that doesn't generate a single penny of income in return. And yeah, we all know these guys, right? We're talking car loans, mortgages, student debt, that nagging credit card balance. These are all those classic liabilities that pop up in our budgets month after month after month. Okay, so this brings us to a huge question, one that trips a lot of people up. We're always told that our house is our biggest asset, but based on the definitions we just went over, is it really? Here's the deal. For as long as you have a mortgage, that house is taking money out of your pocket every single month to pay the bank. That makes it a liability. But the moment it's paid off, it can completely transform into an asset. Why? Because it no longer costs you money and it can start making you money. Maybe if you sell it for a profit or rent out a room. Okay, let's apply that exact same logic to another big purchase. What about your car? Asset or liability?
Well, if you have a loan on it, it's a liability, no question. But here's the real catch with cars. Even when they're paid off, they almost always go down in value over time. That's depreciation. Plus, you've got insurance, gas, and repairs. It's a constant financial drain. It really only flips over to the asset column in the rare case where you're using it to generate income, like for a ride-sharing service that more than covers all of those costs. Okay, so we've got the concepts down. Now what? What do we actually do with this information? Well, this is where we build our action plan for true financial freedom.
This right here, this is the whole game plan in a nutshell. Real financial progress is all about consistently, methodically growing your assets while strategically getting rid of, or at least minimizing, your liabilities. That's how you tip the scales in your favor.
And what's the very first step on this path? It's exactly what you're doing this very second. You're building your financial literacy. You just can't play the game effectively if you don't understand the rules. And this knowledge, this is the foundation for everything. So the journey really breaks down into 3 simple, repeatable actions. First, you set up a budget so you can find some extra cash to invest. Second, you use that cash to actively buy or build those income-producing assets we talked about. And third, and this is so important, you have to review your progress regularly. Your financial life is always changing, and your plan has to be able to adapt right along with it.
Look, when you start putting this knowledge into practice, you stop just managing your money day to day, and you start actually building wealth. You're creating a future for yourself with way more options, a lot less stress, and what we're all after: genuine financial freedom. So I'll leave you with this question. Take a quick look at your own finances. For every dollar that's coming in and going out, can you say with confidence whether it's building an asset for you or just paying for a liability? Knowing the answer to that question, well, that's where all the power begins.